Gabos. The name of the game is Gabos. Game ain't based on sympathy. If you got sympathy in this spot, you ain't gonna never make it. You gonna never make it.
Hello, Gabos community. We're back, just like we promised. 3 of us this time. Someone will be joining us hopefully shortly. But you know, we're keeping the momentum. Regular faces here with me. I've got Booty, Eagle. I'll give them a quick 30 seconds each to introduce themselves. But we got a little fun topic going.
By the way, I want to quickly interrupt you. You said Gabos community, yeah. Like I feel like it's time. Like, you know how like Taylor Swift has the Swifties and all that kind of shit. I feel like they should be called Gabosians. What do you think about that one? I like Gabosians.
Or this will be a bit of an insult to our crowd, but our fans, the sympathizers, because we're all about no sympathy, you know. Our guys are all sympathizers, so we're really trying to get our message across. Let's let them vote. But anyway, Mr. Eagle, you're one of my co-hosts. You want to say hello to the fans real quick?
No, not really. What I want to say is, what a fantastic performance from Erling Haaland midweek. The world united in celebration over the demolition job that he produced. It was sensational, and that's all I'm allowed to say for legal reasons.
Great intro as usual from Eagle.
Yeah. Anyways, barring that, bro, international break is the deadest thing. I feel like my life is in slow-mo right now. And I realized how much my happiness relies, or not my happiness, but my
entertainment, bro.
Entertainment is relying on football, bro.
I was just telling you, bro. I swear to God, I don't know. Like, this is a football pod, yeah, but I watch a lot of the NBA street one-on-one content on YouTube, yeah. I've been watching some old content. I refreshed to watch like some football content. There's nothing new, bro. The latest thing on mine is like Mr. Beast gets 100 kids against strongman. I don't want to watch that. Bro. I'm just waiting for some content. And you know, on the international break thing, bro, it feels like long. It doesn't feel like last weekend was Prem. It doesn't feel like that, bro. It feels like it's been a month. Bro. Like literally, it's been so long.
Honestly, though, like, bro, for me, in a world where there's too much football, I actually enjoy the international breaks now because it's the only time where I actually legitimately like completely switch off. Occasionally, someone would send like some sort of highlight, something crazy will happen, like an internet, like somebody who scored a crazy goal. It's like a little detox. Now we've had like a little break from the league. It's coming back. Everyone's excited.
Yeah,
but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. I'll be honest though, you definitely take a little bit of a step back on this international break. This guy over here is active. Him and some
I'm not that active. But today
you're watching Faroe Island versus Cyprus, the full 90, bro.
Excuse me, I don't do that.
We respect it, bro. It's a football pod, bro.
Listen, while there's no football on, we're bringing some entertainment to our fans and our Gabosians or sympathizers. We're yet to decide. Today's topic, we'll keep it. It's a bit of a fun one. The reason I like this topic is because the term, and you'll know what term I'm talking about soon. I think it's used quite a lot in today's game, and question. There's a question mark over it for me, and it's has our standards dropped, or does the term change with the times? And that term, ladies and gentlemen, is world class. So today's discussion is going to be, I got 5 players for you, Budi and Eagle, and myself. I'll share my opinions. And of course, to all our viewers, I want to hear your opinions. And we're going to discuss, are these players world class? All right? There's no complications. Everyone has their own Budi's burp there was really needed. No, there's no rules. Everyone's own interpretation and opinion. Obviously, we'll probably get into what each of us think world class means, and that's probably where a lot of the agreement or disagreement will lie. So yeah, keen to hear your thoughts on some of these players and the fans too. So let's kick it off with the first one. He's a popular player. He's a player we've agreed and disagreed on in the past. He's had a bit of a, I don't know, he had a rise to fame. He's obviously still quite famous and popular, but it's not like, I don't know, it feels like the hype has dwindled a bit. And that first player is Mr. Jude Bellingham. Obviously, Madrid, key player in the Madrid squad. What are you doing? What are you doing, my friend?
J.
A J.
Yeah.
Oh, for Jude. All right. All right. Seeing as you got the J's up, I'll start with you. Is Jude Bellingham world class? Take us through, obviously, yes or no and why, and then tell us how you think about world class as a term.
I think world class as a term is a player that can play for most, if not all, teams in the world. And I think Jude Bellingham is 100% undoubtedly world class. I think he gets a lot of hate, and I get it, because he's got his personality doesn't help. Seems like super egotistical, and his game itself at times isn't the most aesthetically pleasing. But if you look at his stint at Dortmund and his first season at Real Madrid, even at times last year, but I know last year was a bit of a downer for him and his level. Bro, like, how old is he? Like 20, 21? 21, I think. But bro, for him to be producing what he's been producing at this age already, and okay, people are going to say to me, don't use age because it doesn't matter. But I still think no matter even if you take age out of the equation and just look at the level of performances he's producing at the highest level, to me personally, he's undoubtedly world class.
All right. I'll let Igal go and then have some questions and thoughts of my own. Igal, are you in agreement?
I am not in agreement, man.
Okay.
I don't enjoy watching him play football, bruv, to be perfectly honest with you. Don't know what he is, yeah. Don't know who he is.
Igal, I respect it. Igal's a lot about the make me watch you. I like that. Sorry,
it's the enjoyment factor of it, yeah. That I just don't enjoy watching. Don't know what he is. He's world class at like producing outcomes, yeah, and moments. When you watch him, but listen, bro. I mean, look.
It's been a while.
I always bring this up, yeah. I always bring this up, yeah. But can you imagine, yeah, in your wildest dreams, yeah, you sign for Real Madrid, age 20, you take Zidane's number 5 t-shirt, you bag 2 90+ minute winners in the Clasico in your debut season, and then you win the league and the Champions League in your first season at Real Madrid, with £100 million price tag on you.
And in that international tournament, I think it was the Euros that season, he done a bicycle kick to send them through when they were on the verge of or keep them in when they were on the verge of going out, like
against Slovakia, whatever it was. The moments were unreal. It's like Hollywood scripted moments, yeah. But if you watch him full 90 back to back, bro, it's like, and you compare him to even the current class of midfielders, and if you compare him to like a guy who is undisputedly world class, who's probably not even in the conversation, nobody's debating whether this guy's world class or not, in Pedri, for example. And you just compare attributes, you compare skill sets, you compare all of this stuff. He's just not levels, bro. Oh, a wild Zane has entered the arena just on time, mate.
His camera
he'll be loading in shortly. But yeah, bro, look, I don't know. What's he world class at Aboudi? Sorry to interrupt you, Baz, but what's he world class at in your opinion, like footballing wise?
Okay, for me personally, I can't. He's a strange player. I'm not gonna lie to you and say I watch Real Madrid week in, week out. Yeah, but I like in the biggest of games when they played Barcelona. I did tune in, and Atleti from time to time I do tune in. Obviously, some big Champions League games. But I think, as a midfielder, and I don't think he's the finished article yet. I think midfielders in general, and maybe centre backs a bit, I guess, but they take a bit more time to season than other players. But in terms of just IQ, but if you look at, like you mentioned, a lot, bro, that first season, his numbers were ridiculous. He beat Cristiano Ronaldo's debut season in terms of numbers. Like that in itself is crazy. Like
No, but that was a very cherry pick stat, bro. That was like opening 7 games or something, bro. They were tallying up.
no. It's total. It's in his total. He got like 30 something goal, 30 plus goals that season in total. Not La Liga. In all comps,
international, and everything else.
No, I think it was in terms of just club football. But
that's a high number, man.
No, I didn't.
Let me fact check that. But anyways,
no, you got like 23 goals, all comps, bro.
All right, come. And that's not about the assist. Right?
That's very impressive. That's very impressive. Don't get me wrong. When you invoke the name of Cristiano Ronaldo, bro, we got to make sure that. I remember that they're like, yeah, opening like 10 games, he's beaten Ronaldo's record of goals and he's bagging every game, all stuff. That initial run when he first joined, bro, people were like, this is like Paul Gascoigne and Steven Gerrard and Lampard all rolled into one.
Okay, but yeah, apart from that, I think in the biggest of moments and in terms of actual CC, I think he's that guy. And for me,
listen, let me go on.
Just one last line. For me as well, ability, I don't like. I get it, ability is amazing or whatever, but for me, I've always said this to you guys. If the guy performs, he'll always outdo the guy that can do it on his best day. That's how it is for me personally. But yeah, go on.
All right, look, man, a couple of things I wanna respond to. Firstly, I want to give my definition because I think Eagles yours is a lot about making me want to watch it, enjoyment, of course, as well as quality and output. But you enjoy enjoying the game. And Booty is all about if he can start. For me, world class, you might have heard me say it before. You have to be world class. The world class is a consistent thing across generations. So if a player is world class now, he's sitting with the same world class guys 10 years ago and 20 years ago. Okay, I'm not going to go further back, but that's what world class is for me. It's a certain level. You have to be chatting to those guys. So Jude Bellingham, some of Booty's points. Oh, and Eagles. You lot are talking about the debut Classico goals, Listen, man, at some point we're going to have to get a bit more up to date with some of his noteworthy moments, The England one even. It's been a minute, bro. When was that? A year and a bit ago?
By the way, even at Dortmund, he was turned up in the champs. Dortmund got bumped against City. They should have went through, and he was by far the star player.
That's fine. By the way, I'm not saying Jude Bellingham is not. This is also the thing, world class is a serious title. We're saying he pulled out, he did this. Is that world class? I'm not attacking you guys, but we've got to always remember we're talking about world class, The other thing is I actually have seen Jude Bellingham as well. You say he has the CC. I've seen him become this from like the personal side of his game and mental. He's very like stroppy. He complains a lot. A lot of that Madrid team does, but I think the stardom got to him, and that takes away from his game. And then the last thing that you mentioned, Budi, is he's not the finished article. I think we have to be very careful with that. Do you know why? Because I think in today's age, the finished article comes way earlier than it used to, bro. Like, I don't know if guys like Pedri, they might improve more. Yamal will improve a bit more, but Yamal, bro, like the ceiling gets hit a bit earlier, I think, in today's game because they develop much earlier. Back in the day, they developed later. The technology wasn't there. The training wasn't as good. And they don't even get as much game time. Nowadays, they get it much earlier, bro. Jude's had 4 seasons at the highest level. Like, you've developed 90% of what you can, in my opinion. My opinion is he's not world class. It's a combination of, I think, being a moments guy, like that being your biggest thing. He's a good player for sure, but being a moments guy, that's not world class. World class is a lot around, like, at least the level of performances, even if it's just for a season. I don't need a lot more than a season, but it has to be world class level on top of moments. And then I think he doesn't have enough in his bag. He's also not that enjoyable, but he doesn't have enough in his bag for me. It's not nice. He's a bit robotic in that midfield. So he doesn't sway me. So that's my opinion.
Can I ask you guys a question,
Yeah.
Do you think most, maybe like, bar like the prime Barca or the fakest midfield ever, but do you think most teams in history, like going back, would say no to Jude Bellingham, including in today's?
Can I go there?
Teams, yeah.
Can I go there quickly? and this answers your question hopefully, and also goes back to Baz's definition of world class. Yeah, don't know. For me, I see it the other way around. I see, okay, the stars of the past are maybe a bit more iconic because like so much more of the football was done on the pitch. Like there was no social media, there was no oversaturation. Like they were like, you see like Zidane, like if you're in the UK, like maybe 8 times a year, like playing on Real Madrid or for France or whatever, with the occasional like Classico, whatever I'm saying. So they were much larger than life, right? But then I was watching the other day, I was watching a comp here of Paul Scholes, yeah, who everyone's like unanimous about how like unbelievable he was and and look, he was great for his time. But bro, the one thing that struck out to me from the entire comp here is how much time on the ball he has to pick out a pass. And when you compare that to today's game, and how quickly you get shut down and how much more decisive you have to be, you have like a second to pick up, like to get the ball and to ping a pass. But I think somewhere around, bro. I think a lot of those world class players that you're talking about in the past, like Paul Scholes and all these guys, would maybe not United. Yeah, maybe they could do it with a Paul Scholes, but a lot of these world class guys that we're talking about, bro, would struggle in this era, bro, with how locked down it is.
Yeah, that's possible, bro. That's possible, but like we're gonna wrap this up in the next minute, hopefully. But Budi, I'll give you some examples I'm thinking about. So when I think about world-class midfielders, I'm not going to narrow it down to his specific position because I also world-class like midfield. That's like just be a world-class midfielder. Yeah, we're talking Zidane, Iniesta. Iniesta's a bit higher up. Xavi, Rodri. I don't think he's at that level. Like Busquets, he's not at that level. And I think world-class is one level. Within world-class, there's a bit of up, down, but it's one level. To your other point, I don't think Bellingham, for example, will play at the best City team that as of late, the peak Barca team, the peak Madrid team, he wouldn't start. Even the peak Bayern team, I probably wouldn't have him in there. So some of the world-class teams that have come and gone, I don't think he starts for them. So anyway, in conclusion,
I disagree, by the way. But
Rudy, wrap it up in 30 seconds, and then we'll move
on. Like I'm done. I don't want to linger, but
okay, yeah. All right. So we got 2 disagrees for different reasons. 1 agree. We're gonna go with
not world class. Yeah, well, no, we've officially
let us know who's right. Let us know who's right. Obviously, it's subjective. We have different definitions, but let us know what you think. Mm-hmm. The next player, guys, that I have in mind is he's being discussed, probably not in the most positive light as of recent, and that is the most expensive transfer of the season of the summer, probably the biggest transfer, and that is Alexander Isak. And I'll start with Igal. Yeah.
Alexander Isak, bro. Do you know what? Yeah, a quality player. All right, an excellent watch, but let's be honest here, man. He has not accomplished anything to differentiate him from elite strikers in that world-class category. What we are suffering from at the moment is a massive shortage of elite 9s. Yeah. So if I use your reference of does he sit on the table with the legends who have gone, the Henrys, the Rooneys, the Van Persies, even contemporary Lewandowski, Haaland, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we go by R9, like what about just world class, yeah, and we just go down the list, yeah. How low before we go? You know what? Well, let's stick Alexander Isak in there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he joins. I think he joined in January. He bagged 10 league goals in 22. Then he scored 21 and 30. Then he scored 23 and 34 in the league only last season. Led Newcastle to their first trophy, like in 70 years, whatever, unless we're not, maybe the Intertoto Cup, whatever. But and I mean, he's had the transfer. I'm not even including his Liverpool stint. He's had 3 games in the league. He's barely had any time to acclimate. Yeah, but bro, he's not even chatting to Gyökeres in the Swedish national team, bro. I don't rate Gyökeres. You know what I'm saying? So whilst aesthetically 10 out of 10, excellent watch, and I know that was my criteria when we're talking about Jude Bellingham, yeah. But also, compare the body of work. Jude Bellingham in 1 year has accomplished more than Isak has in his career so far. Now, obviously, Isak's in an elite team, so he's got a chance to rewrite the history and, add the credentials and the moments to his career as well. But, bro, at the moment, right now, we're talking like, you know what I'm saying?
He's got a
long way to go. He's got a long way to go to try and reach that. I know Booty disagrees, but he's got a long way to go.
Let Booty get the closing bit on this because he can spend some time on it. I'll give my opinion real quick. Mostly in agreement with Egal. One thing I'd say in defense against one way I can counter my own argument is right. So to Egal's point, he doesn't sit at that table. Like world class isn't something that you have to have in the moment. Like Isak, Egal said, use that word. Isak could be world class, and I think Booty, you don't like the whole ability thing. In this case, that's probably the only thing that probably gets him world class title. It's probably his ability. So there's that, there's like ability-wise, he probably can do the same, like he can perform at the same level as the best strikers that we've seen. Like literally, his bag as a striker is probably matching theirs. But then you got to ask yourself, okay, beyond ability, like you said, you have to show me. Again, he was at Newcastle, not his fault entirely that he didn't show us. But I think he has the bag to become more class for sure. I think at Liverpool, he plays very well. He leads, he gets titles with them and everything. Definitely in contention. However, I'll also say that at the start of this season, when he was signing, when there was them conversations, I said Isak won't be last year's tally, and I'll stick to that. And I think he'll have an underwhelming season. That's what I said in August. I'll see if I get proven right or wrong. For now, he's not world class. He has the locker and the bag to get there 100%.
Yeah, basically, what I want to say, about the ability thing, what I say when I say I disagree with it, I disagree with people that don't perform, but they have the ability. He has the ability, but he also performs. So last season, he hit what? He hit, was it 23 or 21? And then the season before, he hit somewhere in the 20s as well. So he had back-to-back plus 20 seasons in the league alone, And he played from Newcastle, by the way. But
Can I ask, and answer me and carry on. Do we think these are amazing numbers? They're good numbers. They're very good. Do we think they're to be world class? You should probably be the top striker in the league, right? Or top two, and he probably is with Haaland. But numbers wise, should he have closer to the 25s, 27s, like these amazing seasons?
No, but there's so many players in the past that are we would say are world class with legendary names. That we've had outlier seasons where they hit high 20s and maybe early 30s, but the basis of a world class guy, in my opinion, is you hit 20 and regularly hit 20 plus, in the league alone. That's not including whatever else you do in other comps, But bro, there's a difference between, I get what you lot are saying. You lot are saying, it's too early for you lot to say he's world class because he hasn't done what the other guys has done yet, in terms of, I don't know, the Harry Kanes of the world and the Henrys and what I'm trying to say, all these guys that have done their thing already, and a guy that's performing at a world-class level. He's back-to-back seasons. Forget the numbers. We know who his numbers are. Those are, in my opinion, world-class numbers. But, bro, you watch this guy and without watching him, this guy's a world-class striker. Forget the time that he plays in. He can play early noughties, 2000s, even in this day and age. If you watch a striker like that, you're saying, bro, this guy is world-class, man. And there's a reason why we were so heated as Arsenal fans that Liverpool got him, because we know how rare it is to get a world-class number 9 in this day and age. And this guy's world-class, bro. He's definitely world-class.
I've got two things to say, First of all, we were desperate to get him because of the stylistic match and also the shortage of strikers in the market. We know this. There's shortage of strikers in the market. And secondly, 100%. But secondly, do you know last season he scored, I think, 17 or 18 of his goals between November and January. And you could also say he had a similar streak the season before where he started really cooking from early December. And look, I know you get your goals and blah blah, but like people mentioned this before he went to Newcastle, before he went to Liverpool. They're like he's a guy who just goes on these like crazy purple patches, and then like there's been so many games as well where he just was absent in the entire game.
And we beat Salah with that same stick sometimes. You know, when he has like dead half, second half picks up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
after the Christmas post.
By the way, this is the thing, that a lot of these old school players get away with, yeah, because these new guys, they get looked at with a magnifying glass. I swear, if we did this, yeah, and we looked at other guys in the past and their scoring streaks, they'll be the same thing. There's only so many games in a season. Every player, bro, like the most regular scorers in terms of the tally, they'll probably hit around 20s, early 20s, yeah, these legendary strikers. There's 38 games in a season. There's going to be a period where they haven't been bagging. Do you get it? Like, there's going to be, unless it's actually split very equally. One game they bag, one game they don't bag. Very rarely, I don't believe that will happen. But these new gen guys, yeah, one thing I'll say is they get beaten with a stick, yeah, that is never been held in history, bro. This is new, bro. He can't bag. He has to bag now whenever, like equally throughout the season. Okay, I get it.
That's literally the definition of the word consistency, though. And consistency equals world class.
If we're talking about league, yeah, it doesn't matter when you bag the goals, right? If we're talking about league, if we're talking about season goals are coming in like this 2-month, 3-month spell, that's going to be an issue because later on in the season is when you get introduced to the champs and all that. So I think with Isak, if he does this again, I don't know what he has in winter that makes him so happy and play well. But in Liverpool's obviously it's a jump up from Newcastle. This is where he will show us if he's world class or not. For me, I'm thinking now all the world class strikers in my head, I can think top of my head of some wow moments. As well as like the whole season, they were wow. Isak, there's a couple at Newcastle. No, he's got wow moments in Newcastle, but I'm thinking, can I imagine him do what like a Suarez hat trick? Like that Suarez hat trick he's bagged. Like, does he have it in him that's the levels like that? So I'm gonna give him time. I'm actually gonna give him more than this season because I don't have him doing wonders this season. And let's see.
He did bag a naughty hat trick against Ipswich last season. To be fair,
can I ask you a question? Can I ask you guys a question? Though, you lot are saying he's not world class, but is he close to world class for you lot?
His bag is world class. By the way, he's 26, not so young as well. He's 26, so like him starting his push for world class now is not the. I mean, it's doable. It's definitely doable. I think his bag is world class. I think he should get to world class. That's a good. I think he should get to world class. But is he close? No, because he just hasn't done enough yet. Like because he's been at Newcastle. All right, I'll take that as Igal, you're more or less in agreement. Can we move on?
Let's go. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he's a shit player or anything, but we're also not going to just like preemptively hand out the tag. He's gone for a world-class price tag. He's gone to a world-class club. He's now at he's got everything at his disposal to set the bar where he wants to set it. Before you could say I was limited because I'm playing with Jacob Ramsey and Eddie Howe's telling me to elbow guys in the head for 65 minutes of the game. But now you've gone to the champions. You've got
to give Hal credit, man. He got him balling out, bro.
Well, listen, I'll give him that because now the guy who replaced him has got off to a flying start.
Exactly.
So is it the question is going to be, is it the system? Is it the this? Is it the that? So let's see. Let's have a look.
Or the same people that beat him with that stick are the same people that are going to make a lot of excuses for him as well. So in today's world, we beat them harder, but we make up more excuses for us. All right. The next person, I don't think we're going to spend too much time, and I think we'll all be in agreement here on this one. And he's not a fan. He's not a pod favorite here, and that is Palmer. Is Palmer the reason I want to ask this? Because I think we spoke about Isak and Jude. I think Palmer will probably have the same backing from the audience as Jude Bellingham will. That's how much I think. I think there's this like delusional fan base behind some players, and I think Cole Palmer has that. Is Cole Palmer world class? Eagle, kick us off.
Cole Jermaine Palmer. You know what, man? He's probably got my favorite person.
Man, Booty's pulling up his stats.
He's got my favorite personality in all of football, bro. This guy, yeah, bro, he just cracks me up. Everything he does is just, he doesn't mean to be funny. He doesn't mean to be like, he's not trying hard or anything. But, bro, like, I might be controversial here, but I think.
Nah.
Bro, he's for me, he's borderline, bro. And I don't want to say this, but
really, what?
They know what? Yeah, honestly, when I watch Cole Palmer, I can be honest enough to say, I think he's genuinely a really, really good player, bro. Like he actually is. Okay, then people start bringing up, and rightly so, bro, because it's the same stick that we beat all these players with. Like when we're talking about his goal drought last season, bro, I hasn't scored a goal in this many games and blah blah all stuff. 100%, because obviously now this is where the levels are. So when he's not matching those levels, you have to start questioning, the ratings he gets. But if we're parking stats for just a second, we're talking about him as a player. Bro, he's a guy you can drop into virtually any team, and he will probably start for that team, bro. Really, like there's maybe like if we lock down his position, what are we saying? He's a winger. Is he a cam? Is he a what I'm saying?
He's a cam.
He's a cam.
100%.
Bro, let's say we're playing. Let's say we're at Barcelona. Let's say we're at Barcelona. I'm starting Cole Palmer over Dani Olmo. Me personally, right?
Same.
I'm starting him there. If we're around Madrid, he's chatting to. If we're playing maybe a slightly tweaked system, we're keeping Tchouaméni, we're keeping Valverde. I might give the start to Palmer over Bellingham personally.
This is why.
I don't mind that one. I don't mind
because
that one.
the scrutiny, the level of scrutiny Bellingham is under at Real Madrid compared to what Palmer does. Like Palmer can go so many games being quiet, throughout a season, and nobody will say a word. And then, bro, imagine Bellingham went on a streak like he hasn't scored since January. Like Palmer just scored his first Premier League goal in 10 months. I know there was the summer period off, but imagine Bellingham had some sort of stat like that. Like there's levels, bro.
Hang on, one second. So last season, Palmer, even though he went on this drought, outscored Bellingham. And the season before, he's
on pens. He's on pens.
Okay, and the season before, he outscored him as well.
9 pens.
Okay. But he outscored in both seasons. What
the season? What season? The season that Bellingham got 23 in all comps.
Yeah,
he outscored him where?
Palmer scored 25 in all comps, and he scored.
Bellingham won the fucking treble. He was literally.
Listen, hang on. Hang on, 1 second. I say he scored 25 goals all comps. 22 of them were in the Premier League.
Who? Bellingham?
No, Palmer. Bellingham.
I mean Palmer. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he scored the record amount of pens for Chelsea in their history. That's why there's a massive drop off from his first season stats to his second. And I was saying this when it was going to happen. I was like, next season.
Yeah, but he scored 15 the season after.
Everyone's
going to massive drop off for Jude as well. There's a massive drop off.
Yeah, there's a massive drop off for Jude.
Yeah, there's a massive drop off for Jude as a centre midfield. He's not a cam. The first season he was playing cam.
No, he's playing striker in his first season, bro. Let's be honest, man. The guy wasn't playing cam, bro. He's playing. He's playing centre forward, bro.
I got a question on that comment. Firstly, Booty, the reason there's scrutiny, and I agree, it's more on Jude, but despite Palmer's PR, there's no PR like Jude Bellingham, brother, and the whole move. So that probably adds to it. Second of all, he was playing cam. You're saying more attacking. Who are you taking as a cam? Forget the hate. Who are you taking as a cam?
As a cam, I would probably steer towards Palmer if I'm honest.
Yeah, agreed.
I respect this honest man, bro. What's he? Honestly, let's be real though. Let's be. I want to be completely objective. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But what stats would you say? Like, what attributes would you say Bellingham is objectively better than Palmer at?
I think. Shall I go now, or do you want me? Shall I talk?
No, go. Yeah, no, I'm done. You go.
I think Bellingham is more of a midfielder that has the attributes that can provide more consistent performances. Because I think the problem with Palmer, and I'm actually kind of going to defend him a bit, yeah. Cams in general and throughout history, and he's more of a more physical type of Cam, to be fair, even though he's not super physical, is they've always been like this. They're very hot and cold players, like the Mesut Ozils, the all these like David Silvers, maybe barring some like KDB, but even KDB, he's had times where he's gone cold, but they've had such good depth that people don't talk about his moments of just going quiet throughout the season or his big injury records throughout seasons. But anyways, Bellingham is a type of player who is similar to another player we're going to discuss in Rice. He's got physicality about him. So he doesn't need to consistently be good on the ball throughout every game to come up with a moment, because he can just box crash into the box and get a moment. Or he can, off the ball, box to box, he helps on both sides of the pitch. Whereas Palmer, if he's not having a good game on the ball, he can very easily just be invisible. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I'm actually going to kind of shock you guys and say, I think Palmer, what I was searching is like players of that history, like the best cams of that history in our history. So there's like Mesut Ozil, obviously there's the Iniestas in the world, there's like Zidane's and all of these guys, and I get it, and David Silva's and whatever, and I get it, he's not to that ilk yet, but like when it's someone like David Silva, and I'm not saying he's done what David Silva's done in the game, but like on Palmer's best days, like bro, he can be that guy, innit? But cams are just they're very hot and cold by nature. That's why in the first season I gave him so much hate, because everyone's saying, oh, look at his goals, look at his goals, look at his goals, look at his goals. I'm like, bro, you don't judge a cam off that. Okay, obviously that's beautiful, but bro, like for England, the reason why everyone wants him to start instead of someone like Foden is because Palmer has an eye for a pass. Foden, if he doesn't bag, he's just a shooter. If you don't bag, he's not someone that's very creative. Palmer is he's actually a creative midfielder, and I rate him like as a maverick. Like he's a super cold player, but I think it's a bit premature maybe to say he's a cam as in world class, because I would say he has one 30 world class season. Last season was mid, and bar that, what's he done?
Bro, listen, I won't even say look, last season was just bro, look, if penalties or no penalties, yeah, if you score 15 in the league as a cam on a down season, penalty, whatever you're saying, yeah, that still puts you in very high standing, even amongst the cams you listed, bro.
Yeah, but Gal, he literally
he come off the bench against the Netherlands in the 80th minute. He sets up the goal for Watkins. He come off the bench against Spain. 3 minutes later, he scores the equalizer. Like, in terms of like stages you can perform at, even though it was like a nothing trophy, the Club World Cup final against PSG absolutely delivered there as well. So what I'm saying is we talk about your argument for Bellingham earlier on about the moments and about like standing up when it counts, bro. This guy can stand up when it counts alongside the best of them, bro. Like, especially like when we're talking about our players need to mature over time, and you know he's still not the finished article, bro. If you're bagging in a final of like the Euros at like 21, 22 years old, I'm just saying that means you've got a hell of a road ahead of you if you keep up. And also I agree with Baz, players come through earlier, they finish earlier, they peak earlier. I agree with all that stuff, but I'm just saying.
I mean, let me go touch on a couple of things you lot said. Firstly, Budi, great point about, and I agree with it. It's like cams, hot and cold, this and that, versus the Bellinghams that will give you a 7 out of 10. But then like, then it's that question, isn't it? Do you want a 7 out of 10 throughout the season, or do you want 3 10 out of 10s that might, get you a cup, for example, like if it's in the final, and then a few 5 out of 10s, a few 6s. So yeah, I guess if it averages out a similar level, then you might take the 10s out of 10s. But then if the stinkers are very bad, you're probably going to want a consistent guy to deliver. So that's like a good trade-off. The Eagles point, he said Palmer probably starts in most, like that was your criteria for world-class beauty. By that definition, I can think of a few teams that I wouldn't start in. Like I wouldn't start him at Arsenal. I wouldn't start him at Bayern. Like Musiala, whatever, however you say his name, is better. I wouldn't put him right wing. Only say he's better. For Madrid, isn't it Gula and Nakam? Doesn't he start now more often?
Yeah, he's basically that Cam, yeah, Gula.
I'm taking Gula, by the way. He's probably not done as much so far, but I think Gula's bag is better. I like Gula. Having said that, especially when I saw his performance at the Club World Cup, you mentioned it. Even though, whatever, it's not that important. The goal he scored, the shoot, like the little fake pass, and it created space for himself. These little tells are top quality for me. By my definition, to wrap it up and just give him a rating, he's not world class for me because I think he's missing a bit of that. Like, I think he's like, as an English player, I'm watching him. He's definitely the most creative out of them. Like, he's got that, like you said, eye for a pass. He's got a bit of who are you gonna cut? Why are you pulling that face? Who? Just tell me who.
We'll talk about it shortly, I'm sure.
Cool. Yeah, I think he's got that eye for a pass. Good IQ for a guy that speaks like he's got 0 IQ. He understands the game, but he's got something missing. Like you mentioned big moments. I don't know if he has that thing to drag a team. I don't know if I've seen him pull a 10 out of 10 performance. That I can't think back of it like, wow, Palmer. I can think of it like, oh, Palmer cooked, but it was never a wow moment. And I think I can think of a few for like Ozil, for example, and a couple others. So 3rd play in a row for me, man. And I picked all of those guys because I'm probably going to rate them the same. He's not world class at the moment. What did you guys? Yeah.
Gal mentioned something about what's it called? His 15 goals. Yeah. Remember, this guy hasn't scored. He hadn't scored since January in the league. Yeah. You use that as a stick to beat Isak with. Bro, he's genuinely, if he played for Arsenal, it's because you don't watch Chelsea and you don't care about Chelsea as much.
Chelsea.
As in you don't care about them as much as you care about Arsenal, obviously, so you won't be as harsh on him. But if this guy was performing for us, from January to now, by the way, even till now, he's been, the start of the season, Chelsea in general have been dead, but he's been dead.
But let's be fair, bro, like they've been forcing him to play through an injury for the long.
Their best performances this season are when he's not in the West Ham. They scored 5 passes. Liverpool, they just beat their most statement win. Both performances, he wasn't even in the squad.
By the way, he actually gets, I think, because he does have a price tag behind him, a big buzz that helps him massively. By the way, if Palmer went for like 100 M's and did what Budi just said, Jan till now, no goal, whatever, he's getting absolutely flamed, bro.
He has less GA in that time than Odegaard, and Odegaard gets absolutely bodied. If Chelsea were going for a title and had a loud fan base like Arsenal, this guy would be getting absolutely flamed right now. The World Cup club thing, that stint helped him because he turned up a bit against that. By the way, they played a bunch of bums until they played PSG, but he gets his plaudits for the PSG performance because it's still a big game. He turned up 100%. I would want someone like Odegaard to do that, which I don't. I still have big doubts about. But for him to be world class, I need to see more. That's what I'm gonna say personally.
You're right. So I think I don't know if you guys even put him world class. I think he said, "Oh no, you surprised us," and you said he is. So 2 of us said he's not.
He's close to me though. I just need to see like a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's like a ladder. He's not for me. He's close for Budi. He's probably touching it for Iga. Let us know what you think. Palmer's always a popular topic amongst the fan base and amongst football Twitter. Okay, Let's try not spend too long on this next guy, even though probably going to be the most one of the more heated ones. The next player is a big favorite of yours. We mentioned his name, and that is Declan Rice. Now I'm gonna start off because I have a strong opinion. Very briefly, world class for me, as well as sit with them guys, the best world class of all time, the best players of all time in that position, as well as sit with them. Everyone I think of has like and this is to go back to that consistent moment. Everyone has a bit of something they do that for me is like a wow. Okay, any world class player I can think of a wow, like not even an attribute, but like I can reference something like this person is wow at this. For me, Rice is the definition of like a Mr. Consistent. I think he's had a few bad games. We all know like there's a few spells, but I mean like what he does for the club is at a consistent basis is important, very important. People don't realize it unless you know ball, blah blah blah, all the things we've discussed before. But for me, he's more of a consistent, do your job, probably a manager's favorite because of that. Like, he does his job to a good level, doesn't let you down. He had these 2 free kicks at Madrid, obviously, led to a lot of stocks being bought, obviously. He's got a great whip on him. That's not enough to say, like, that's not like an attribute, but he does have a great whip on him. But for me, and I expected this, I wanted him, like, when he joined Arsenal, to develop one part of his game to, like, a phenomenal level. And I don't see that when I think of Rice. Not taking things away from him, I think he's a very good player. But that's my stance. And therefore, also because he doesn't sit with the best players in that position, he's not world class for me. Either of you can come at me now.
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, man. He gets into every midfield in the world, and he gets into every England squad that's ever been announced since the foundation of the country. He is He's the complete midfielder. He's the complete midfielder. I'm telling you, this guy.
Complete midfielders. He can't even turn on the ball, bro.
What can't he do? What can't
he
do?
He can't turn on the ball. He can't
turn on the ball, but it's not.
Bro, this is objectively not true. He can't dislocate his hips like Lionel Messi. You are correct.
No. He's a bit on the ball when he receives the ball. It's a bit too. He needs 4 touches to get to where he wants. It's a bit not.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Bro, listen, for his profile of play, if we're talking about a 6'8" hybrid, bro, he's got everything you can do, bro. Like the only thing that he hasn't perhaps done, and when he does do it, he excels at it, is like believe in his own ability to add more goals and assists to his game. Which I mean, I think even since he's joined Arsenal, he's improved in that category. In terms of athleticism, in terms of carrying the ball, in terms of set pieces, in terms of ball striking, in terms of even to the point of like he's in the top 3 this season for line breaking passes and forward passes. His tackling is unreal. His last ditch ability, the heart, the hunger, the desire. He's got all of it, bro.
All right, 2 questions. One, you mentioned he'll start for any club in today's game. That's Budi's criteria, but if you say that, he will start for any club for me. But then across the years, he's definitely not chatting to the best.
Who wouldn't he start for right now?
I'm taking Grav. What do you mean right now? Like as of last game's performance, or like?
No, currently right now, the current squad.
This is what I've seen in the last year or 2. I'm not taking him over Grav. Rodri.
He can play with Gravenberch. They would literally be perfect together.
Wasn't Rice bought as an 8? Wasn't Rice bought as an 8?
He plays as an 8.
He was a 6, but he now plays an 8.
Wasn't he bought as like the Xhaka?
As a 6, as a CDM. Like he was bought.
But Xhaka wasn't a CDM. So what's your point here?
Yeah, he wasn't. Xhaka wasn't. So he was meant to be a bit more.
Yeah, but that's what he plays now. He's a box to box.
But bro, he doesn't get up there the same way you wanted him to.
What do you mean, bro?
Let me talk. I beg you, let me talk about him.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to prove to everyone all the Gabosians, all the 75ians, whatever we call them, yeah, that this brother is out of all these players, the most stonewall world-class player, bro.
Yeah.
So, he's a box-to-box midfielder, yeah. Look at in the history of the game, the best box-to-box midfielders. Kante, Vieira.
He's not chatting to any of them, bro.
Are you crazy? Baz. Kante, I would say Kante personally. Let me talk. I gave you let me slam.
Yeah, but you can't say mad names like that.
But I can. He sits with them, bro. Are you crazy, bro? He doesn't. Kante isn't as industrious as Rice, by the way. Going forward, Rice is better than Kante. That's numbers wise, and that's on the eye. Yeah, that's number one. Defensively, ball winning wise, Rice doesn't chat to him. That in that essence. So Kante is better as a ball winner.
That's the wow factor.
He sits with Keane. Yeah, 100. I think. For me personally, I think Keane is one of the I think Keane is one of the best players from the olden days that can translate his skill set to this. Bro, in this day and age, the biggest and most important attribute for a midfielder, and even Arne Slot said it, and it's why they paid the big money for Mr. Wirtz, is running, bro. If you can run your arse off, obviously with the technical ability, etc., you are one. If you can't run, you are dog shit, bro. That's why. That's why Pogba in this day and age, bro. He needed. Oh, I need Kante next to me. I need this guy next to me. I love one of the best technical. One of the best. Huh?
What Pogba's world class?
Yeah, Pogba. Do you know? Should I tell you what his best season at Man United was? Guys, should I tell you what his best season at Man United was? As a left winger on the left cam, they had to play Matic. Three or four runners in midfield. Bro, let me finish. Let me land.
But that's not why he's world class. You're saying wrong things. That's not why Pogba's world class. Not because of his left wing season, bro. Even if he doesn't run.
Bro, you want a player that in your head theoretically is a bit on ability is amazing, and I get that. But bro, when it comes to putting this player in the middle of the park and producing game in, game out, he does not do it, bro. Year in, year out, he flopped, bro. And it's a fact, bro. He cost £90 million and he didn't deliver, bro. Rice doesn't need a fucking Kante next to him to put in the performance that he needs to put in. Bro, let's forget that. Makelele, Arturo Vidal, these are all players, in my opinion, that are in the same ilk, that are box to box, yeah, that are world class, bro. And Rice, you judge him the same way you're judging someone like Fabregas. Bro, they're two different midfielders.
I'm judging him as a CDM. I don't want to hear box to box. CDM. He's not chatting.
No, CDM, bro.
CDM. By the way, CDM is a modern invention, bro. The original is box to box midfielder, bro. It's a guy who can do it on both sides.
6 and 8 is a modern invention. If we're not talking about modern inventions, bro.
He's
holding. You look told he's a holding.
He's both. No, he's 6 and 8.
All right,
he's 6 and 8, bro.
Bro, he's a two-way midfielder. He can do both sides of the game, bro. He can affect the game going forward, and he can genuinely, like 100%.
Not an amazing way going forward.
No, not an amazing way. Not an amazing way. But none of these guys can. These Roy Keanes, Vieira is probably the best of them, in my opinion, in terms of box to box. Is a two-way player that can go back as well as going forward. But out of all the box to box guys, Vieira had the most sauce out of them. Yeah, in my opinion. Rodri's not, but he's not both. Rodri.
By the way, we're talking about Vieira and ratios wise for Arsenal so far. Declan Rice is outpacing Patrick Vieira for goals and assists, man.
What are we doing, bro? First, you're gonna tell me he's not there to score goals. Then you're gonna use goals when he.
Hang on. You said Vieira. Yeah, as clear.
Vieira's better.
And in terms of going forwards, because defensively, this guy's better than Patrick Vieira. I'm sorry to say it, bro. This guy is better, in my opinion.
Listen. I personally don't like looking at like stats completely when it comes to midfielders, comparing our old Arsenal team with our new one. I think personally, Vieira's better than Rice, yeah, but I still think Rice is world class, bro. Like all these guys here that are box to box midfielders, he can sit at the table with them and he can chat to them, bro. Like bro, I think Rice, personally, on ability-wise, he's better than Keane. But I think Keane has a better career, obviously. Rice has yet to go on to accomplish the levels that Keane has. And
I got one quick question. Let's not do box to box. Look at the formation. No. I'm saying what formation? Give me any formation.
4-3-3.
Okay, then he's the deepest, yeah?
No, he's not, bro.
Where
This is your problem, bro.
Where do you want him? So that means if you're gonna put him left mid, then you're no longer gonna compare him to the best at that position.
Right. Can I say something? Bro, Roy Keane had a sitter in Scholes. Yeah, he's the one that dictated play. Same way, Rice, he has the Partey, he has a Zubimendi. Vieira, Gilberto Silva was the deepest. CDM. Arturo Vidal, he had Pirlo as the setup. By the way,
who had Busquets?
And he had
Busquets.
Busquets was a sitter, bro.
Who had Busquets sitting for him? Who was Busquets sitting for?
Oh, okay, Baz. Rice is not better than Busquets. The GOAT fucking CDM.
It's not my question. I said, who was Busquets sitting for? You're saying Partey sat for Rice.
What's his name? It was
Xavi and Iniesta, you mean?
Xavi and Iniesta.
Okay. So Rice, should we compare to one of them? Who are we comparing to now? I don't know who you compare.
Bro, they play a different system. Rice.
Can I ask one question? Sorry,
I'm giving you 70 different.
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask one question? Yeah.
They play a different system.
Baz, I got a question for you, man.
Bro, one sec. I have to know who I'm comparing Rice to, bro. I can't just.
I literally called you 7 guys: Vieira, Vidal, Keane, Makelele, Kante, Henderson.
I'm not comparing him to them.
Why not, Bolu? Why not?
Rodri and Busquets.
He's comparing him to Iniesta. Let him land. He's comparing him to Iniesta, bro. Carry on.
Comparing him to Rodri and Busquets. They're in there, bro. Just because he plays.
Listen, Baz.
You have to compare him to the
Baz.
best.
Baz. Let me ask you a quick question. Yeah. When Man City bidded £100 million for Declan Rice, yeah. What was Pep gonna do with Declan Rice? Was he gonna bench him and rotate him for Rodri? What was the game plan there? In your opinion, I was asking you a question as a footballing man. What do you think Pep's idea was in that scenario?
When you ask me questions about everyone was after him, everyone was after Sesko. Sesko's the best striker in the world. I don't like this. They paid $100 million for Anthony. What does that mean, bro? I'm watching.
All right, listen. Let the record. Let the record reflect the question.
He was going to play Rice as the box-to-box for Rodri. So he could do the groundwork. He can go forward.
Yeah.
What does that mean, bro? Again, I'm asking you, lot. What I'm asking you, lot, is if I can't compare him, wait, let me talk, bro. If I can't compare him to the guys that are sitting, and I can't compare him to the guys that are in front of the person sitting, like I can't just compare him to 5 box-to-box midfielders because there's like only 5 in the world, bro. Everyone else is
okay. For example, you're saying to me, is Busquets sat and is Rice better than Xavi or Iniesta? Whatever they paid. No, he's not better than them.
I'm compare him to any CM that's not a cam. So Iniesta, I wouldn't compare him to.
Wait, compare him. You can compare him to anyone, any centre mid, because that's what he is. He's a box to box. You can compare him to the Gerrards of the world. You can compare him to Hendersons. You can compare him to.
Xavi. I'll compare him. My point is, I won't compare him to Iniesta. Fair enough, he's further up. But like I told you, man, earlier, midfielder, I'm just going to compare him to the midfielders. So I'm going to compare him to the holding midfielders and to the box-to-boxes. I'm going to compare him to Xavi, bro. I'm going to compare him to Gerrard. I'm going to compare him to Scholes. I'm going to compare him to Busquets. I'm going to compare him to Vieira, Kante. And that's good, bro. I'm not saying he doesn't chat to any of them. But for me, I can't just compare him to the guys that play the exact same. He plays that role.
Listen, but box to box is a very there's a lot of
written on the formation map, bro. Formation
there's a lot of players. No, listen, my friend. If it's a midfielder, yeah, I mean, they're in the middle of the park. They can do both sides of the game. That's why they're in the midfield. That's why it's the hardest position, yeah. And then you look at the players who are listed as box midfielder who are known for being able to affect both sides of the game.
And that's not their position.
It's not a short list. It's not 5 guys. There's a lot of guys who can do it.
Bro. That's not a position.
It's Edgar Davids who can defend and start an attack. It's Schweinsteiger. There's so many guys here. There's Michael Ballack. There's Essien who can do this stuff. There's Redondo who can do this stuff. There's so many guys. The best guys in the game that we're talking about here are guys who, bro, when it's a counter attack, they're going to be the right there, sprinting back from the edge of the opposition box to be able to defend. And when it's coming to attacking, they're the base where the attack starts from. And that's what Declan Rice does for us, bro. When he's breaking down last tackle, he breaks down last tackle, and then he drives to the ball 40 yards and plays it to the cam, who then plays the final ball. So then
Bro, can I ask you a question? Yeah.
Go on.
What has he done? Like, where has he not performed? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
obviously, he's not. Obviously, he's had bad games. Every player's had bad games. Yeah. But like Arsenal at the highest of our highs. Yeah. In terms of the biggest of our games, in terms of the Champions Leagues against the Real Madrid, the PSGs, the Newcastle aways, the Liverpool aways, the Man City aways. Like. He turns up. Like, if any player turns up for us, yeah, when our backs are against the wall, it's him, bro. Like, he's always there. And he's bro. Yeah, but you always say, oh, he's a 7 out of 10. He'll give you a 7 out of 10 minimum every game as a bad thing.
No, it's not. I said to you earlier, it's about what you want. Consistency is a good thing as well. But do you want that, or do you want a guy that can give you 10 out of 10? But anyway,
yeah, but he can at times as well.
He has. I agree. My thing was, and I started off saying, and my whole thing was just a guy can be the best in his position today. Rice can be the best in his position today, but not be world class, in my opinion. And I always said this: if the pool isn't wow, I don't bring down the world class level. And then this back-to-back thing, bro. If I look at a left back, if I look at Hakimi compared to Ivanovic peak, I'm not going to say, oh, I can't compare them. Or Azpilicueta, Hakimi is much better at attacking and he bags goals now for PSG and he inverts, bro. I'm going to compare the position to position.
I'm not saying you can't do it.
Yeah, no, I know. But Igal saying box to box. I'm not just going to compare the box to box midfielder. I'm going to compare any midfielder. And to me, if I take any CM, forget Cam, CMs in the world, he's not the best. Because, bro, you lot have named some unreal names. Yeah, not the box to box guys only. The CMs that I mentioned, you mentioned some Igal. So for me, I'm not cussing the guy, bro. I just want a bit, and I said this to you, man. Maybe now Arsenal are in, I think, a phenomenal shape now as a squad. I think now maybe he'll start to give me a bit more wow. Or maybe I'll start seeing more 9 out of 10 performances. Because I've seen him, bro. I've seen him have very good games. I've seen him run back, like Igal said, 90 yards to get a last-ditch tackle. And I see these things, bro. I rate these things. It's not, I don't just care about goals. But for me, because the bar's so high historically, bro, so high. Midfield is the best, like you said, the hardest position, the best position in the pitch, in my opinion. So he's not there yet. I'm not taking away from him, bro. They're just unreal players in the past. You guys make a great case, wallah. You guys make a phenomenal case. And I probably was harsher on Rice than I should have been. He's doing better than I thought he would consistently since he started with Arsenal. But I just want to see a wow, and I don't see a wow. That's all. I just don't see a wow yet. Maybe I will. Maybe he'll start bagging free kicks like often. Maybe he'll start scoring more, and like that having consistently delivered at a high level and then bagging, then the stats will really start pushing him. But anyway, you guys out-trump me. Obviously, we're gonna go with Declan Rice is world class. We spent long on that, but I'm glad. I enjoyed that. And the last player. And I don't know if this will follow the same vibe, the same direction as this, because I don't think you lot will contest it as strongly. But the last player we're going to wrap up with, and we won't spend too long, and that is Mr. Starboy. He bagged a sick goal recently, so obviously you guys' stocks are high. Bukayo Saka. Start with Booty. I think you'll be the more rational one because I know you guys.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. But yeah, anyways, I think there's without a shadow of a doubt at this point, yeah, this guy is world class, man. Like,
what?
Bro, he's definitely world class, bro.
Bro, he's not even the best in his position in today's game, bro. Oh my days, bro.
Yeah, but bro, what you're saying, Yamal's gonna be going if he carries on this trajectory. This is a flipping second to Messi in that position. But bro, right now, listen, yeah, bro. Do you know what I don't like, yeah, is these players, and I love these players. I'm not saying Saka's not better than Iron Robin. Saka's not better than Di Maria, yeah. But these players, yeah, they get looked back on, yeah, and their numbers. Bro, if you look at numbers here, wise, bro, they're not even putting I think if you look at Iron Robin's numbers, he's had maybe 2 or 3 double-digit league numbers in Bundesliga, by the way. And I don't care, Bundesliga, bro. Saka would kill that league, bro.
I'm not going to take that. I'm not taking that argument. Tom, go back to your stat argument. Don't say he'll kill that league.
Yeah, okay, but he would though. He would. Bro, washed Kane now, yeah? It's like they've never seen a striker before. Kane's arrived. Imagine prime Kane in the Bundesliga. Bro, he would flip it on his head top and destroy it, bro.
Not washed.
Bro, not washed Kane, but bro, this is not prime Kane. Prime Kane would torch that league, bro. He would leave double over the all-time top scorer of Bundesliga. But anyways, bro, every time there's a new guy, yeah, like Elise, bro. Elise hit his first double-digit season last season, by the way. First time in his whole career, yeah. He's 1 year younger than my man. He's better than Saka. Anytime a guy does anything a little bit, he's better. This guy,
it could be that he's always been better than Saka, ability-wise, but now
man, why do you hate my man? Why do you hate my guy? Don't hate on my guy.
It could be that, bro. It could be that.
Bro, it's not that. I watched him, and this guy, yeah, bro, he's playing for Palace. He's flipping, having 5 stinkers in a row, but no one's saying anything because he plays for Palace. Bro, Saka's playing in the limelight since he was born, bro. He came out the Emery's room, and he had to play right wing for him, bro. Anyways, bro, if you look at the depth of the right wingers, bro, think about it. There's Di Maria, Gareth Bale at times, even though I think he was best maybe at Tottenham where he was a bit left.
Yeah, but he could do it on the right.
He could do it on the right, and I'll say he's better than Saka. Mahrez, and I think Saka's already chatting. By the way, I think Saka's chatting to Mahrez. In terms of consistency, big moments, Mahrez is not chatting. In the biggest of stages,
bro. He delivered as much as we want to brush, bro. It's like man.
I'm not brushing Leicester. I don't brush Leicester away.
Okay, Rice. Kante, you can tell me, oh, Arsenal have Rice. Vardy, you got a 9 now that was very well sought after. Right wing, Mahrez, you got Saka. Where's that Prem? I don't care, bro. Mahrez delivered with no Saliba, no Gabriel. Don't even mention these names to me, Igal.
By the way, this season, this version of Arsenal would mash up that Leicester team. They played in the most. I'm not trying to. Oh, because that league was that league, bro. Their biggest challenges was Arsenal, bro. We had flipping Mustafi and God knows what, and Coughlin in the centre of the defense.
That league was dead enough that they beat all 19 teams to the league.
No, it was the first season of Pep. Washed City, Man United. They had Van Gaal, bro. I'm not getting Tottenham and Arsenal were their biggest challenges. Tottenham are pro jobs. We finished third, and Arsenal had Danny Welbeck up top, bro.
Bro, tell me Leicester should finish 4th, 8th, 6th, 1st. Nah, come on.
I'm saying this version of Arsenal is battering that league, and I know that for a fact.
Probably. Okay.
But anyways,
Mahrez, Yamal, we mustn't forget. Robin.
Let's go back to
Figo.
Figo's not better than Saka. Figo's a right mid. Figo's a right mid, and he's not better than Saka. Figo is one of the most overrated players in the history of the game. And that's facts. In my opinion, I don't care what anyone says to me.
What's he say again? Can you say it louder? David Beckham.
Yeah.
Beckham. Get out of here, bro. There's no, bro. The pool of right wingers isn't like, bro. People act like when people say if Saka's world class, as in it's wild. Throughout the history of time, Saka sits with these guys. By the way, like maybe. I don't think it does. Bro, look at the numbers say otherwise, yeah? Bro, Iron Robin at Chelsea was some mid guy, bro. He wasn't anyone, bro. He wasn't anyone serious. He's a decent guy.
And Real Madrid.
And he went to Bundesliga. He done his thing. I love Iron Robin, but when Saka retires, we're gonna come for all these man's head tops. All that body on his one testicle, we're gonna smoke him as well.
Oh. Close your mind, bro. Listen, Messi is also a right winger, lest we forget. So,
bro, Messi's fake, man.
So we just got to get him. Let me hear your opinion, man. And guys.
No, I prefer bro. But you've gone last every single time. I prefer to hear your argument first.
Bro, have you not heard my argument so far? I've been talking.
No, bro, listen. I want to hear your concise, full opinion, and then we'll close up.
My full opinion about Saka is very consistent, delivers. one thing I rate about Saka, by the way, genuinely, he has a few bad games, but he never lets it drag, bro. Genuinely, this is a big
Most consistent player.
No, I'm saying
He's. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Listen, look at this guy. I want to bury these flowers. He can go a game, 2, 3 games iffy, but then he reverses it. That's a big thing, bro. Players go on 20, so that's a huge thing for him, bro. Again, for me, similar to the Rice thing. Well, firstly, when I look at the best right wingers in the world, he's not there yet. He might be knocking because, to your point, Rudy, there's not the right winger pool is not like other positions. Genuinely, it's not like other positions. So I think he could chat to these men earlier than the Rices and whoever, Bellingham, whoever else. But similar to Rice, I think he's missing, and you'd agree, don't tell me no now, bro. He is missing a wow. Maybe they don't need it, bro. Maybe these two end up delivering so consistently and get titles for Arsenal, and then they don't need to be wow. They just need to deliver. And by the way, if Saka, I'm telling you, for me, myself, and I'm sure many fans think this, if Saka has one Champions League and 1 Premier League to his name already, I'll probably tell you he's world class. Okay? Because I would have seen him, I would have looked at those titles and I would have seen the numbers you mentioned and the games he's had, and he would have delivered. So he's delivered silverware. But because he hasn't delivered it, yeah, and maybe it's not his fault, maybe it's the rest of the team let him down, it makes a difference, bro. If Saka this season has the same season as last and they deliver, this season is just going to be so much better because he would have been part of glory, bro, silverware. So for Saka, I think he's close. I think he needs to deliver silverware, even at the same performance he puts out now. Same thing. If he does the same thing, but it leads to silverware, even if it's Gyökeres that bags 20 and that gets you the title, Saka will have a free rider benefit. He just will, but there's something behind it. Currently, the consistency, even of Rice, the consistency week in, week out, is proven that you need the wow factor, right? It's because it's not getting you the title. So that's, for me, they need the title, both of them, and that will transform that consistency into world-class consistency. So that's me, Igor. You can wrap us up. I've enjoyed the Saka and Rice segment, to be honest, man.
Well, look, I mean, for me, I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and it's going to be very similar to the Declan Rice argument, in the sense that for the casual, for the unawares.
Also, Ousmane Dembele is a right winger.
He flopped there. He's actually a striker. He popped that as a striker. So he's already rushed that guy.
Uninitiated.
Don't do that. Don't disrespect my guy. Go carry on and go.
For the uninitiated, for the masses, it is going to take some serious trophies to acknowledge what is already fact. And I mean, the Bukayo Saka Rice debate is a good barometer for me of who's doing this out of genuine good faith and who's got agendas to run, because there is no debate with these two guys, bro, in my opinion.
So Arsenal currently have, just so I want one statement.
Yeah.
Arsenal currently have Rice, Saka, Saliba. You don't think Gabriel's the best centre-back in the world?
You think he's world-class as well? Don't do that. You think he's world-class, Baz.
Gabriel's not chatting to the world-class centre-backs that have played the game, but Saliba is, in my opinion.
Like who? Who's he not chatting to?
I think Saliba is.
All right, anyways, forget what. Listen.
Wait. And then you lot probably think Timber's world-class, if I'm honest. So Arsenal have... So subhanAllah, this generation...
And Raya is world-class. And Raya is world-class, yeah. Carry on.
And that's why if Ted doesn't win, he's getting a sack!
I wanted to mention Raya, but I didn't want to cook you, man, and embarrass our pod if you, man.
Right now, as it stands, he's not world-class.
There's no right now. This is the problem with you, man. There's no right now he's world-class. World-class is forever. Forever, bro. That is Raya forever, world-class keeper.
Listen, man. Listen.
They're going to take Casillas. Oh, Casillas, Raya.
No, I'm taking Raya, by the way. I'm taking Raya, but I'm not going to exaggerate when I say this to you. I mean, seriously, I'm taking Raya as a player right now. Yeah, if we put Casillas in his prime, and I'm saying if we put Casillas in his prime, we put Casillas in his prime, and we put Raya in his prime right now, I'm taking David Raya. And didn't else agree with me? The Spanish head coach is going to agree with me. He's going to be like, you know what, bro? This stiff midget, who lost a $1 million euro lottery ticket and was forced to be a footballer to recoup his family's wages.
Guys, we're going
getting ahead, bro.
I'm glad you showed your cards. You started off saying This is
Listen.
the barometer to who has an agenda,
Let me
and then you
finish.
said Raya's better
Let me
than
finish.
Casillas. Clearly,
Let
the
me finish.
agenda is the agenda.
I watched the game.
Finish,
I watched the game. I watched the game. I wasn't playing FIFA, bro. I watched the game, bro. We're gonna wrap it up. Listen, you're correct. You're correct. You're correct. We have, in my opinion, multiple world-class players right now,
Yeah.
and the only thing that's gonna cement their legacy is titles. That's it. If they don't win titles,
Bro, I'm gonna wrap up with this.
horrendously.
I'm gonna wrap up with this. In any generation of football, there's maybe 10 world-class players. You man are currently telling me there's 6 just in Arsenal. So let's wrap up on that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't.
Come on,
10 world-class players. That means your definition of world-class. There's a guy that is so high, it's ridiculous. That's number one. Number two,
Yeah, it is.
guys, you have had 0 world-class players out of this list. Yeah, that's number one.
That's
Number
what I did
two,
on purpose to get
yeah.
I said this. I did this on purpose. I chose guys that are on the brim, bro. What does that mean, bro? I did it on
Yeah, okay.
purpose.
We're watching Sunday League nowadays, bro.
Rudy,
Those guys are at the top of the
That's my point.
Rudy, I
In the
want to say one
generation,
thing. Rudy, I want to say one
we have
thing.
a lot of world-class
I want to say
players.
one thing.
How
Yeah,
can all 5 be world-class, bro? Come on.
I want to say
man.
one thing,
Come on, man.
bro. I want to say one thing. All right, you have Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, David Villa, Messi, Pedro, PK.
Pedro what? What do you mean,
No,
Pedro?
I'm saying Pedro, but I'm saying out of that team, yeah,
The best team to ever
You're saying,
exist.
listen,
The
you're
best
saying,
team to ever
okay, no,
exist.
okay. Modric, Cruz, Casemiro, Ronaldo, Di Maria, Ronaldo, Di Maria, huh?
Yeah, stop at Casemiro.
Sergio Ramos, Pepe, Marcelo.
Yeah.
These
Nah,
guys,
bro,
there's more
my
template. Okay,
my friend- okay,
Schweinsteiger, Robin, Ribery, Lewandowski.
Guys, you're having the stinker in that one.
Hey,
That
bro,
was a
listen,
statement.
hey, listen,
That
hey,
was a statement.
calma.
The thing is, you guys, you have to be so specific, bro. When I said 10 in a generation, bro, I didn't count.
Exaggerating, you're exaggerating.
But my point is, there can't be so many in a league.
Chat.
Arsenal could have some of the best players in the world right now, but are they
Chat.
world class over time?
Chat, we need comments.
Okay, listen. Before we finish,
Chat,
before
we
we
need
finish,
comments.
I just want to ask Baz a few things. I just want to say something to Baz first.
Don't
Baz,
mind it.
I think, there was one player you judged, with a different like stick, and that's Saka. You're the
It used to
hot.
be Rice, bro. It used to be Rice. Now it's Saka. Come on.
No, it's not. It's not right. It's Rice is close second because you watch them most consistent. You're a somewhat secondary honorary Arsenal fan after Liverpool being a Liverpool fan. But so you watch them a lot, but you don't. And all of us are like this, by the way. And I was a victim of this, bro. Old school players, get so much more grace than this new school guys, bro. Bro, all these guys, they've had barren spell seasons. They've had many stinkers in their lifetime, but they're not judged like the new school guys. That's number one. Number two, I just want to ask you a question, Baz. Of all the players that we mentioned, who's the most close to being world class? Because you've had none being world. I'm just intrigued.
It's out of by my definition. Or who have you man swayed me to?
No,
my definition before I started this call,
Okay.
it was Rice or no, Saka or Isak because of his bag. Saka or Isak.
Who and now you added Rice to it, innit?
Nah, box to box, and then you name me some bums. He gets close.
Bro.
Listen,
I mean,
this is carry on all night.
I have to wrap up.
Let's wrap it up. Listen, we're gonna unveil the TikTok schedule. We're gonna listen. Baz got one last thing to say. Last word for you. Go on.
No. It's not that exciting. Booty. You said old people get way more credit and they had bad games. I think the new gen gives so much credit to players just because it's more technical and the keepers play with their feet. You got players like Eagle telling me Raya over Casillas. Get out of here. Man.
I'm not on that.
Listen, like, subscribe, tell us your thoughts, tell us what you want on TikToks. We're going to be moving and grooving consistently from now on. It was a fun episode, boys. I'll see you next time.
Peace.